I've been having a personal renaissance.
I've been having a personal renaissance.
I need some chapstick for that.
It's really rare today to be a jack of all trades, also called a polymath, which really just means to study many things, because most people live very specialized, rarely diversifying their learning beyond their work. And today, people who live outside that path and decide to pursue all kinds of different disciplines, they're often seen as lost, distracted, crazy, having no vision, even if they're super successful. They're thought to be slowing down the machine just because they might not hyper-focus on one function. As a result, these people are often forced to operate outside of the machine. They'll even be growing stronger than it a lot of the times and become a threat to it. And I think this is happening as a result of their insights being taken for granted. Because in modern times, people usually only bet on what they can see right in front of them. In Polymaths, they're not afraid to make connections that people have not seen yet. Their ideas are often heavily popularized years later. There's a lot of pressure on all Americans to stay in one lane, stay controlled, and you really do have to be a truth seeker, a little bit rebellious to break free of that today. During the Renaissance, people are exploring the world through fresh perspectives, critical thought, personal expression, and connection between ideas. Today, specialization and conformity to a money-driven world have pushed the polymath spirit into the margins. Even the most successful polymaths are going to be seen as crazy for attempting to cross industries, even if it leads to success. There needs to be a resurgence of people who are jack of all trades and masters of the bigger picture, just everyday people. And I'm not saying to quit prioritizing one focus. I'm just saying that you have the ability to explore others around that time. Specialists and polymaths, they need one another, but polymaths are often outcasts that are pushed away from the table. In polymaths, we'll often redefine what success looks like by creating powerful connections between subjects and exploring ideas that surprise. I'm having my own personal renaissance by returning to joys and desires I had as a child. The health, creativity, curiosity, and playfulness I once had are now back and fulfilling me daily to help me operate at a top level. My mentors have always told me that success will come when I narrow down my interests, pick one focus, one function, one skill, and master it. And trust me, these are people that care about me. They're completely right. It's definitely the best way to become an efficient part of the machine. But that never felt right to me. It was so daunting. It was always stuck in my head. And I hated it. When I was 1, I threw my shoes out of a car window so nobody could put them back on me. My mom went back and found them on the side of the highway, but I guess this just captures the feeling that I still have today. If something's imposed on me and I really can't find my own reasons for it, I'm probably just going to reject it. I went to art school and I work a remote 8 to 5, but outside of that time, I choose to deep dive into all kinds of different intellectual pursuits. And I think you can still have your job and not live a specialized life around it. I focus on work while I am there, but outside of it, I invest into all different areas of my life to become a jack of all trades. And sometimes this feels super countercultural because I almost feel like I should just be watching TV and letting my brain fry after work. But what is the future going to look like for people who study the whole machine rather than just one part of it? So polymath just comes from the Greek roots poly meaning many and mathe meaning study. Da Vinci, Ben Franklin, Aristotle, Anna Maria van Sherman, Maya Angelou, Galileo, Elon Musk, Copernicus, Isaac Newton. All these people weren't celebrated for just doing one thing. They were celebrated for making all kinds of connections between many things. And they were celebrated for their thinking, whether you like these people or not. They're cross-training their minds, just the same way that athletes are cross-training their bodies for peak performance, and a football player will play ballet. They're thinking in different ways and creating in different forms. This practice is not only going to strengthen different intellectual muscles that they might not have even known were there, but it's going to help uncover connections between ideas that most people haven't seen before. Just remember that trying new things, even if you fail, is vital to staying intellectually alive. Specialization is definitely a faster road to success, and sometimes I'll be thinking, am I on the right path? Because I could definitely achieve success faster if I just did the same thing over and over and over again, but I would be giving up a part of myself that I can't let myself lose, and I wouldn't trade the childlike wonder of exploring many new paths for the privilege of being the best at just one personally. But I need people that are specialists in my life. We work really well together, and I don't think that everyone should be like this. I'm not telling people to be like this. I'm just saying if you are like this, have a renewed sense of confidence, because I think that there will be more of a need for people like us in the future. By embracing diverse interests, you're able to widen your perspective, build meaningful connections between ideas, relate to more people on a human level.
You can have your own personal renaissance, but it starts with asking, what do I enjoy looking at most? Does eating this make my body feel good? Does eating this make my mind feel good? Who do I feel best around? What life would I want for my little siblings, or what future would I want for my kids? Because that's the life I want for myself. Do the people I look up to have lives I actually want? If the answer is no, I remove. Rebirth requires letting go. Delete, move on, letting go of what people think, what they try to sell you, what they say. And I am having to delete a lot more than I thought I would, but it's a fun challenge for me once I've realized what I'm up against and the benefits of what I'm doing for myself. I want to see how good it can get.
I've been really praying, if something's not for me, just take the desire for it away. That prayer at first felt heavy, but now I'm excited when I pray it because I've seen how that has changed my life. It's not at all about avoiding desires, which is what it sounds like. It's actually about aligning with the ones that matter the most, and I have had so many old desires replaced with new ones that are much more satisfying. And even in small ways, like using the not interested button on Instagram, you can slowly start to weed things out of your life that don't need to be there. A lot of this started with me just after my 9 to 5. I'm creating something, I'm making something, I'm having my own renaissance at home.
Better than nothing, huh? The cliff's over there. You look at it and it's almost painted for you, you think, until you try. I tried to paint what I saw. I thought someone could tell me how to paint a landscape, but I never found that person. I had to just settle down and try. I thought someone could tell me how, but I found nobody could. They could tell you how they painted their landscape, but they couldn't tell me to paint mine.